So the Lakers have signed Andre Drummond. It was between them and my Celtics. I mean, to be honest, given Drummond's history of inconsistencies and all that, I'm not super beat up about it, especially if my Celtics can then sign Gorgie Jang. For the Lakers, I mean, they're basically hoping that Drummond will do what Dwight did last year for them, where not as concerned about post touches, play hard on defense, set good screens, dive to the rim, not be as concerned with how many shot attempts you're getting and all that. And if Drummond decides to really just be a model citizen, and you'd think with LeBron and AD and the culture, he could actually do it. And if he does, then that gives them something that they have needed this season. I mean, they've got Montrez for the downhill stuff, but Marc Gasol, while we love him, and is he a Hall of Famer? Maybe, maybe not. And he's a smart defender, and he's probably still a good post defender, but there's not many post-up guys anymore. His lack of athleticism has just gone a little too far. Like, he knows how to rotate on defense, he knows how to communicate, but if you can't get to the spot fast enough, then that's a problem. In the case of Drummond, well, at times he's been that guy on defense. I don't think Drummond is horrible defensively. Sometimes he is. When he's pouting and he's not happy about lack of touches and he's not playing as hard as you'd like him to, yeah, then he's really bad on defense. But when he's fully engaged, he can be all right. He can certainly stand in front of the basket. He can drop on a pick and roll. I think he can even step up on screens sometimes. I don't think he's useless if you ask him to get a little more aggressive if he has to. You know, if you're going up against the Blazers and Dame is getting a screen, that sort of thing. Now, the ideal thing, of course, is LeBron being able to get screens from Drummond, and as well as Drummond being able to sit in the dunker spot on the opposite side of the rim when AD is posting up. Sometimes it makes the spacing bad, but sometimes it also makes it tougher for the opposing team to play a zone type of defense because there's just one guy right there at the rim, right? Well, unfortunately, they're going to be out for a minute. So we think about Drummond with the Lakers as they are at this moment. I'm a little concerned that he might be like, well, I'm going to step in here and save the day, get me my shot attempts, and then he would hopefully have the mental switch once LeBron and AD are back. But there's still a decent amount of time to go, and there's a chance that he could already kind of bury the spirits of the team if he's not good from the jump, and we're going to have to see how all that goes. I mean, again, Drummond at his best is a pretty alright player, you know? Yeah, his numbers have always been a little better than the actual product, because, I mean, numbers don't take into account defense besides steals and blocks. Drummond's rebounding numbers, while they certainly jump out at you, 15 a game or whatever they are, the team rebound percentages have not been as impacted by Drummond's individual rebound numbers as you'd like them to be. Like, the exact opposite would be when Aaron Baines would only grab, 4 or 5 rebounds a game, but when he's in the game, this has happened especially when he was good for the Suns, his team would be like the best rebounding team in the league. Drummond has never had that large of an impact, even if his rebounding numbers are through the roof, as we all know. And then on offense, I mean, he's not a floor spacer. Sometimes the free throws get bad, even if he's gotten better at them, of course. And sometimes he wants post-ups, and when he wants post-ups, it gets bad. And it's even worse when he actually gets his wish. And I don't think that's going to happen much in the Lakers. So that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, I guess now you have a question about the starting five. Is Drummond immediately going to be starting at center for this team? I kind of feel like he is. I mean, now it's all in flux, but when AD is back, I think it will be AD and Drummond. And to be fair, there's still a lot of potential. I mean, the offensive rebounding, for one, could be really nuts, because you're already dealing with LeBron and everything he can do and everything AD can do, and then it's like, oh, we finally managed to get a stop. Oh, crap, Drummond just got the offensive rebound, now he's getting free throws. Or he passes it back out, or AD gets the offensive rebound. So, again, the potential's there. It just comes down to, is Drummond okay with not getting a bunch of shots and not getting a bunch of possessions? And the offensive rebounding could be pretty crucial until AD and LeBron get back, because the Lakers just might need as many extra possessions as they can get right now. I mean, you think about, like, who is he setting a screen for right now? It's mainly Schroeder. You know, Schroeder, a little bit of Caruso. KCP is going to get some possessions. Is Kuzma a pick-and-roll guy? No, but just out of necessity, you might have to do that. And we'll see how Drummond can fare in that. And then once everybody's back, I mean, a LeBron-Drummond pick-and-roll, How many times are they going to run that? I don't know, because the one thing is teams switch the LeBron AD screen because there's no way they're going to let you have that. And also, usually a power forward is on AD. It's a little easier to switch that than if a center is guarding Drummond. So if you're going to allow LeBron to get downhill, then that could be, well, we all know how that goes. So again, I just fall on the side of if Drummond is up for it, and if he's okay with the role they're going to want him to play, which is basically Dwight from last year with probably just more minutes, then okay, cool. It could go well. If he doesn't like it, and he's not playing hard and running as fast as he can in transition, setting just meh screens, and not really trying to be a beast on the boards, and also he's probably just missing a couple extra tip-ins. It's kind of the Drummond meme at this point. And he's not playing with enough effort on defense, then it's not going to go so well. But it was a buyout guy. But again, Gorgui Dieng is available. And Gorgui, from a talent standpoint, athleticism standpoint, does not match Drummond, of course, although he is a better shooter. He has been draining threes for a bit this year. But Gorgui is not going to question his role. He's going to do exactly what you tell him to do. He's going to set screens. He's going to play defense. And he's okay with shooting no shots a game. Up to this point in Drummond's career, that has not been the case whatsoever. I mean, we all know how it goes. If everything is exactly as Drummond wants it, he'll go max effort. The second something's going wrong, he's not getting calls, you trade for Jared Allen, he starts pouting, and he's not the same guy. The other thing to think of with Drummond, too, is can he play to the level of another great center? Okay, because Embiid, while Drummond has played him a little better the last couple times, most of the time Embiid kills him, right? And I just want to see if Drummond is defending Jokic, how's that going to go? Because nobody can guard Jokic, of course. And what's going to happen? Is he going to be like Dwight and actually manage to slow Jokic down? Is Jokic going to kill him? I mean, I think this year's version of Jokic would have not had a problem with Dwight in those last playoffs. And as of right now, I don't think he's going to have a problem with Drummond, so we'll see. I mean, if that series ends up happening, then we'll talk about it when it comes. If you think about some of these other things, I mean, against the Clippers, for example, if Ibaka's spacing the floor out, how are the Lakers going to deal with that? I mean, the obvious thing is, well, AD can guard at center, 100% he can, but they don't want to do that all the time. I mean, it took them until Game 6 against the Heat to finally just bust out AD at center, and we saw what happened. It was devastating. Miami couldn't score, and they couldn't stop the Lakers at all. And it was also effective against the Rockets as well. So they're always going to have that in their back pocket. And again, is Drummond going to be cool with that? I mean, are we going to see some like Drummond and Montrez together? They might have to, just out of necessity, until they get LeBron and AD back. The spacing, it could be bad. It also could just be really tough to guard two guys who are just going to the basket that often. So we'll see, man. It just comes down to, is Drummond going to be willing to buy in? If yes, it'll go well. If not, it's not going to go well.